Hello everyone, this was a doozy of a chapter. While I personally did not cry, my soul and heart sure wept in unison, as did many others. So let's get into it. Chapter 1133 is titled Nice Things, and this chapter seems to have many different translations for the title. So we'll just pin it down to, this title seems to be difficult to translate. Translating is never one-to-one, and we will leave it at that. We start this chapter with a flashback to Ohara burning, civilians dying, and the world government blaming it all on an 8-year-old girl. We see how the world was terrified of Robin, hunted Robin down, and we get this awful scene of a child Robin standing on the edge of a cliff. However, the words from her mother and from Saul stop her from moving, and she cries that she's so scared. Robin runs in tears while forcing a Derishishishi, and we cut back to present-day Elbaf. The Straw Hats celebrate being back together, the Giants celebrate meeting all the Straw Hats, and Rodo has been crucified? Oh my god, I know he's a freak, but this seems excessive. Also, we get a cute little scene of Robin and Nami loving each other. God, I love One Piece girls. Now, as Hairurin talks to Luffy, he brings up Big Mom and says the news of Luffy's victory reaching Elbaf is extraordinary because Elbaf never pays attention to the outside. We'll surely be touching on that later. Before a feast can begin, Robin catches Luffy's attention and the Straw Hats all make their way over to Saul. Luffy says a captain must pay respects to everyone who helped their crew. And thank you to my stream chats for reminding me that Luffy got this lesson from Ace. I knew it seemed familiar, I just couldn't place it with Ace thanking Luffy's crew in Alabasta. I also must add, I love all these panels of Robin holding Bonnie, especially after the flashback we got with a young Robin. Robin knows more than anyone what it's like to have the world and government against her. In a similar way, the government was trying to kill Bonnie, and it feels as if these two have been given a silent connection with having their loved ones back and finding their happiness again. Made doubly so by Bonnie finally feeling safe enough to stay in her original child form, while Robin's reverted back to her child appearance with her fringe and simple black dress. Very clever, Oda. One's inner child is shining through in healing and happiness, while the other has quite literally gone back to being a happy child. As we get to the beach, we talk about tree erosion. Very cool, and Robin laughs at Saul being passed out on the shore. Saul and Robin mimic their meeting, panel for panel, and we see Robin through Saul's eyes as he remembers her as a child, just to then see her now as an adult. Saul says Robin has her mother's kind eyes, something I believe is very significant, and Saul explains Vegapunk's sacrifice to tell the world of Ohara and their studies means there's positive change ahead. We get the reason for Saul surviving, because he was frozen on a burning island, which, yeah, duh. However, Robin says she only wants to talk about the nice things, and Saul celebrates Robin being alive. Robin remembers how she only wanted to die when she was a child, only to cry as an adult and sob that she missed Saul dearly. Saul sobs as well, along with nearly all the Straw Hats, and the chapter ends on Luffy's smile. Now, let's get into this. This is one of Oda's best chapters, because his emotional narrative and build is absolutely crazy. Opening this chapter with Robin's past, reminding us of the pain she went through, reminding us of how the world hated her, is showing us just how significant it is that she's alive. Not only that, but I truly believe a scene like this wouldn't be possible if this were not One Piece, because Robin's story is one that has been built for so many years. When we first met Robin in Alabasta, she was quite literally dead inside. She was already prepared to die. We saw she had no hope to live her dream or to live in general. Once Luffy saved her, she had found warmth among the Straw Hat crew, and stuck around with nowhere else to go. Skypiea to Longring Longland showed us Robin not only warming up to the crew, but having her dream reignited. Skypiea reignited her dream, while Longring Longland Dreamland was literally just Robin enjoying her time with the Straw Hats with such a silly event that was also somewhat serious. Water 7 was obviously the reveal of her past and her being, where she finally yelled that she wanted to live, because she had finally found people that accepted her. With the Straw Hats now definitely being her family, we go to Thrillerbark, to Sabodi, to Fishman Island, to Punk Hazard, to Dressrosa, to Zoe, to Wano, and to Egghead. All of these arcs have scenes of Robin being loved, protected, cared for, and cherished. She is welcomed back by Frankie with immense passion even with her new appearance in Fishman Island. She jokes with the crew about her bad days in Punk Hazard as she sits in the cage with Luffy and Smoker. She says she's found people who will love and protect her in Zoe. She is relied upon by Sanji in Wano, which she says made her incredibly happy. And she's protected by the crew in Egghead, the same arc in which she discovers Saul is alive. This scene with Saul means a lot because we have watched Robin's journey, we have watched her healing, and we have watched her grip to life with bloodied, shaking fists to finally find happiness. Even as Saul remembers child Robin, and as he looks at current adult Robin, we see the difference in her eyes and in her smile. As Saul says Robin looks lovely, he says she has Olvia's kindness in her eyes. And this is significant because she definitely did not have this kindness until meeting the Straw Hats. The Straw Hats have not only given her a reason to live, but have given her a closer resemblance to the mother she loved so much, which makes my heart overflow in a gooey pink because oh my god, just kill me. And the question is, why now? Why has Oda waited so long to reveal Saul and bring him back for Robin to finally meet him? Because this is more than just a reunion for Robin. This is a reward. Had Robin died, she never would have met the Straw Hats. She never would have found the poneglyphs. She never would have heard Vegapunk's message. And she never would have reunited with Saul. For 22 years, Robin had struggled. She'd been pained and hurt and scared for 22 years. And the man who made that fight a possibility is now holding her and saying, "Thank you for being alive." And Robin, with her crew behind her, with nice things she is able to tell Saul, can cry in his arms and tell him she missed him. Saul couldn't be the only reason Robin is alive. Saul couldn't be the only nice thing about Robin's life. She needed to come back to Saul with a family. She needed to come back with a new purpose, a new life, and a kindness in her eyes that reminded Saul of Olvia. She needed to come back changed with the love Saul promised she'd find. For Robin, it took 22 years. And for us, since Robin's introduction, it took us 25 years. It took us 25 years from the beginning to now, watching Robin grow, watching her change, watching her newfound family heal her, for her to hug Saul not with desperation, not with despair, but with a pure happiness that she's found more love than ever in this world. She has stayed alive and can tell Saul about all the nice things she's found and seen in the years they've been apart. And doesn't that just make you feel such warmth from your heart to your soul? This chapter tells me, without a doubt, that Oda more than anything wants to tell a happy story. He wants to tell a story of joy, of love, and he wants his biggest moments to be about love. I've always said One Piece is about love. It always has been. And Saul and Robin's reunion proves that tenfold. These kinds of chapters, these kinds of emotionally driven narratives is why I love One Piece. Robin has been through her struggles. She's been through her pain. And Saul being alive doesn't remove a single thing she went through. This reunion is simply a joy Robin is now allowed to have, as we are allowed to have it with her. Okay, now with the tears wiped out of my eyes, what about the rest of this chapter? Once again, Rodo has my interest. Because he's so removed from the new giant pirates, it seems cruel. And I know he's a creep. I know. I don't like him. It's just that this does not feel like a crew to me. Only having Rodo for his knowledge is how Blackbeard would operate, or how Doffy would operate, but it is not how the Straw Hats would operate, and that concerns me. Crews in One Piece are a big thing. They hold a lot of significance regarding acceptance and family, and Rodo is clearly not accepted here. He is being purposefully singled out all the time, and again, I feel like we're going to get a lot more information on Rodo and why he turned out this way. The next interesting thing is Big Mom specifically being mentioned. Big Mom has apparently been a terror to Elbaf. We can assume this was maybe the result of her rampage as a child, but there is a clear connection between Big Mom and Elbaf. I'm just saying, between Big Mom's backstory, to Hyruden mentioning her, to Loki and Lola's affiliation. Do not be surprised if Big Mom comes back. I am seeing so much setup here for a Big Mom return that it is driving me nuts. And the final interesting thing is the fact Elbaf apparently hears no news of the outside world. That is a huge red flag, because we know that Oda knows that connection means power. Understanding your world around you is essential. Having connections to the world around you is important. Skypiea and Wano were totally closed off to the world, and they had no help or support with the dictators that controlled them. Why is Elbaf so closed off? And why do they refuse to let the world in? I feel Elbaf, as a country, are unwilling to know of the world for the simple fact that they do not care. It feels to me that Elbaf may be a self-centered country. They may possibly hold a pride that tilts into aggressive nationalism. And the willful refusal to learn about the world makes a person and a country ignorant. I can surely see Oda going down this route with Elbaf, but only time will tell. And with that, I have nothing else to say. What did you think of this chapter? Did you have fun? Did you cry? Did you your pants? I encourage any and all conversations in the comments. Just be nice to each other. We are civil in this book club. Please take note, I only read the officials, so these chapter videos will only coincide with the officials. If you'd like to see my chapter reactions in real time, you can join me on Twitch or my YouTube VOD channel. Please be aware they're a bit rambly because I get too excited about One Piece to collect myself in my live streams. Thank you, and bye.